What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay. We are here with NCP Season 5. Yes, we are. And this time we have like straight up joined at the start of NCP. Last season we joined as an alternate, as a sub, as a scrub off of the bench, and now we're a starter. We're here. We're NCP Season 5. I'm happy to be able to rejoin the ass, and I was like, hell yes, please. But we are here, we're starting out. We get to draft our own team, which is dope, because you know, coming in as an alternate, you kind of get thrown into a team that you didn't really build, so it's kind of weird. But you know, you try to make the best of it, and we tried. But this season, hopefully we do way better than we did last season. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But we're here, and in this draft, of course, we did 120 points with 11 mons. So between those 120 points, you got to figure out what kind of way you want to spend those 120 points to get 11 mons total. So here we are at the start. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go over to the PowerPoint right here, and we're gonna show our first pick, because this is the second draft league, the new one that we've done. Because right now you guys saw UPBA, now we have another one, we have NCP, and UPA is ending, and then we have one more that you guys don't know about, so I'm gonna keep it on low. But we're gonna go ahead and click, and we're gonna click and click. We see Clefable. So I know in UPBA we got Clefable, NCP now we have Clefable. Me personally, I love Clefable. I don't, you know, it's not a mon that I particularly use in the way that you'd see it used on ladder or whatnot, because to me it just doesn't, it's not as good. If you use it that way, you're setting Clef up to fail, in my opinion. But to me, Clef is probably the best fairy type in draft. Hey, at me. But I think it is the best fairy type in draft. It's very versatile. It can be offensive, it can be defensive. It can E-hits for days. It can be a hazard setter, be a wish passer. You can use it for momentum with teleport and whatnot. And you can just like Calm Mind set up Unaware. Has great abilities in Unaware and Magic Guard, which is beautiful because you don't have to take Life Orb Recoil. You don't have to worry about being poisoned. You don't have to worry about taking hazard damage at all. Unaware lets us not be able to get swept. And you know, Unaware plus Boots, you could trick people out and be like, oh, it didn't take hazard damage, but I could be Boots, I could be Unaware, and you know, you spice things up a little bit. So I like Clefable a lot. We were also out of, I think we were like, I forget what seed we were. We were like 3 from the bottom, so no surprise there. In our draft, all of our drafts, we've been at the bottom, literally at the bottom every time. There's no, I want to just get a top pick, like 1 through 3. I will be happy, bro. I would love to be able to do that, but we'll see. You never know what happens, but I'm happy. We managed to get Clef, which is nice, being at the bottom, and especially when things like with Dragapult and Urshifu Single Strike, it helps to deal with those. Not necessarily checks to them, but definitely helps deal with them if anything. So I'm happy with Clef right here. And then pick two, which was, I really didn't know it with Celesteela. I didn't know what to get for pick 2, to be honest. At first I was thinking Landorus with like Clefable, Landorus, and I was gonna pick up Landorus first, but then Kurt was like, yo, I want to get Landorus, and I was like, say less, I'll let the homie get out, you know, because you know, if they say they want it, then why not? You know, I'm down to draft new stuff and stuff, and I've used Clef plus Lando in like a offline showdown league, so not offline, a non-recorded uploaded showdown league. So we have Celesteela. I've never used Celesteela in draft. I know it's a dope mon because it can be ran in many ways. It's a very versatile mon, and all of its stats are beautiful. It just has low speed at base 60, so we have 2 base 60 mons, but we'll fix it later. But Celly can eat hits, it can dish out hits. Beast Boost is an awesome ability because you can mess around with the EVs and the IVs and whatnot to see which stat you want to boost and stuff. So it's going to be great because it can be a sweeper and it can be a stall mon, so that's kind of dope to have between its versatile move pool and whatnot. So I'm excited to use Celesteela. Hopefully we make it put some work in. I've never used it, so hopefully, I think we can though. I think we can. I'm really excited to use Celesteela. It's a new one, and plus we've already started our Fairy Steel Dragon core, and it's not like, you know, I've said many times in drafts and what analysis and whatnot, cores to me don't matter. They just happen over time as you draft, because it just makes common sense to cover each other. If you don't have a team that covers each other, I don't know what you're doing, bro, because if you have multiple weaknesses, you're just gonna get clapped. You're just gonna, unless it's like a weather team. But anyways, we're gonna go to pick 3. We got Big Baby Darm. Obviously we can't get Victini. Victini was taken. I actually was thinking about Victini, but Victini was taken before we even got Clef, I'm pretty sure. And Victini is really, not Victini, Darm is really cool because it's still a button clicker, right? Not V-Create, but we do have Sheer Force boosted Stab Flare Blitz, which is dope. It's a button. We can U-turn, we can hit Earthquakes, we can Rock Slide. It has a decent move pool and lets us get momentum and whatnot, and we just click buttons. It gives us hard hitter. Base 95 speed, which is great. Base 140 attack, which is beautiful. And so with a scarf or a band is dealing damage, and heavy duty boots helps it out a lot, because if we have a matchup where we don't need a scarf, we don't really want a band, or we want to run bulk up just for the hell of it, we can, because we have boots. We don't have to worry about hazards and whatnot. That's pretty cool. Dharma's just here to hit things hard. It's a button clicker, and it gives us a physical attacker as well, because as you can see, the mons before us, they're both special, but Celesteela can be physical as well, so I take that back. So we have another physical mon as well, so we're looking nice. We're looking nice, and it helps deal with like pesky steel types for Clefable and Celesteela as well. Even though Celesteela does have moves that can deal with it, I'm gonna stop rambling. We're gonna go ahead and get to round 4. Here we go. We got Galvantula. So gives us an electric type and a bug type, which is great, because not a lot of people care about bug types per se, because it's probably not one of the best types, but it gives us an electric type and a volt switch mon, so more momentum. So we have 2 mons with momentum, actually 3 if you count Clefable with teleport. So Galvantula also gives us the ability to set up webs for Darm. So if there's a situation where we can just run webs and Darm doesn't have to like run Scarf at all, we can just run like Choice Band. Choice Band and Flare Blitz is going to hurt opponents left and right if you don't prepare for it at all. So I'm excited to use that. So with the webs pairing, that's great, and it gives us a base 108 speed, so it ups our speed tier a little bit, because our speed tier was a little bit lacking. We have a mon finally that breaks the 100 speed tier. I need to get some water, because you know, big sips are important, but we are 6 minutes deep, so I'm gonna try to speed it up just a little bit. But we have Galvantula here, webs, volt switch, thunder with compound eyes. So like Galvantula isn't the best like electric type with its special attack stat, because there are like ones that are better, like such as like you got Raikou and stuff, and Zero Aura and blah blah blah. But what it makes up for is we can click thunder for free. It's 91% accurate due to the compound eye, so that 9% can come into play a little bit, but you can just click thunder and not worry about it. Go for big damage. We also have a 30% chance to paralyze, which is beautiful, so big damage and a better chance to paralyze. So I'm excited to use Galvantula. And then next up we have round 5. We got a Vaporeon. So I've never used Vaporeon, but with it being able to get flip turn this gen, it's I feel like that's dope, because like I love momentum. I'm a sucker for momentum, and already we have Darmanitan and U-turn, Galvantula, Volt Switch, Vaporeon, flip turn, Fable, teleport. So all of our mons have some way of momentum, and that's beautiful. I love momentum gaining, because it makes a difference in games and helps make plays easier for me, just in my opinion. But Vaporeon is nice because it also gives us a slow pivot, since it is a very bulky mon because of its HP. It has great SPDEF. Its defense isn't too good, but because of the HP stat, if you max out in the defense, then it kind of evens out, and Vaporeon can just be an overall wall. It's also a Wish Passer. Also gives us Heal Bell, gives us Scald, gives us a Water Absorb mon, because you know Vish is scary. So I mean, Vaporeon can be here to help deal with Dracovish a little bit. It's not the best check to it, but it helps us not worry about Fish's Run, because Fish's Run is just scary if you don't have anything prepared for it. I just hit my mic, I'm sorry. But next up we do have, you guys know I am a sucker for Serena. I think Serena is probably one of the best grass types in draft. Like Rillaboom's pretty good, but I think Serena is dope. I haven't used Zarude yet, so I can't speak about Zarude, but it does have a time for a weakness to U-turn. But Serena is great because it's such a versatile mon. Gives us U-turn, gives us knockoff, gives us rapid spin, gives us aromatherapy. It also gives itself self-recovery with synthesis, so it's great. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Beautiful. But Serena is just a great mon. I've learned to love it ever since I drafted it in IBA season 3. I just think it's great. It can be bulky on both sides, and its attack stat is beautiful. It's high, it's huge, it hits hard. Of course, we can't take Scalds as if we wanted to, because if we get burned, it kind of sucks. But at the same time, it's okay, because we're not gonna rely on Serena too much as a physical attacker unless the matchup says, yo, run physical Serena, bro, just do it. But I really like Serena as mine here. It's dope. It's a great grass type. And then as you can see, our speed tier does dip a little bit, so we're gonna have to fix that, because the only mon right now that's breaking 100 is Galvantula, and Dharma is 95, but because it doesn't hit 100, it kind of makes it a little, because we'd have to run Choice Scarf every time. So but because we have webs, we can kind of ignore our speed tiers just a tiny bit, because we have webs. Don't have to worry about it too much, you know what I mean? And then next up, round 7, we got Froslass. So speed tier 110, boom, beautiful. So 110 is probably the sweet spot in the speed tiers. There are a couple mons that reach 115, but 110 is a good place to be, considering there are only so many mons that get like 120 and 130 that you don't have to worry about. And we have web, so we don't have to worry about it too much because Froslass will still be the fastest thing on the field. Granted, levitators and whatnot, but we're gonna ignore those. Froslass's dope mon gives us 2 typings that are just very spammable in draft: Ice and Ghost. It can be physical or special. It can also be a suicide lead with like Focus Sash, and you get spikes and whatnot, get hazards up. You can get Will-O-Wisp, you can Will-O-Wisp Hex. So that's fun. That's fun sets to run. I think Froslass is gonna be a dope mon. I've never used it in draft. You know, our buddy Q loves him some Froslass, so I was like, yo, let me pay homage to the homie, and we're just gonna go ahead and draft Froslass. So I'm excited to use it. It's just a very versatile mon. I wish they would give it freeze dry. If they gave it freeze dry, it would be perfect. If they up its special attack to even just like, if they up its special attack to like 100 and its attack to 100, I think it would be way better. Ultra Player aka Josh had a rant on Twitter about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm feeling motivated to pick Froslass. So between Q and Josh, I was like, yo, Froslass, let's do it. So I'm excited to use it. New mon, because I did want to use a bunch of new mons. Speaking of new mon, we got Kommo-o. So I did use it in IBA season 1, but I don't count it in my brain because now we get to use Kommo-o for realsies. I don't know. It's just been so long since I've used it, so I'm excited to use Kommo-o. It's just, I didn't have a dragon type and I didn't have a fighting type, so it gives us a great two hard-hitting stabs in fighting and dragon. So as you look at our team, we didn't have any dragon before, we don't have any fighting. We're not too worried about fairy types right now between Celesteela and Darmanitan, and of course Clefable helps with that as well, so we can eat up those hits, and Vaporeon also can eat up hits as well. We're not too worried about fairy types. It does have quad weakness to fairy, unfortunately, but because it gets like so many good moves that it can cover fairies if we can break them down a little bit beforehand. Klingler we are allowed to use so we can get that omni boosting potential. We have Swords Dance, I think it might get Swords Dance, I might be tripping though, but Dragon Dance, Atomize, so it has a bunch of setup potential, but it can also be a wall. And because it has great defenses, it also gets Stealth Rock, it gets Iron Defense, it gets Body Press, so it has those moves going for it as well. So Kommo-o is just a very versatile mon, and I'm excited to use it. It's a brand new, it's kind of like a new mon for me, so because I haven't touched it in so long, so I'm excited to use Kommo-o. We'll see how it goes in the season. Next up, we have Baby Mandibuzz, we have Vullaby. So Vullaby is going to be our dark type. Unfortunately, low-key, it was cheap. It was a cheap dark type, and you run Eviolite, it has great bulk even if it is just a Vullaby. Like, don't let it fool you, bro. Vullaby is bulky, it's the go. It gets everything that Mandibuzz will get, like U-turn, knockoff, defog, heat wave, and all that stuff. I don't know if it gets heat wave, but it gets like U-turn, knockoff, outplay, Brave Bird, all that stuff. So it's basically like having a Mandibuzz. Unfortunately, we have to run Eviolite every time, so but I think Vullaby could put in the work. I think so. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It gives us a defogger as well. It gives us some removal because our only removal at the time was just Serena. So we have a defogger right here. So that kind of makes up for a little bit. I would have liked to have a better dark type, but it is what it is. I think we'll be fine. We'll have to play around some ghosts a little bit, but what can you do? We'll see. If it ends up being that much of a problem, we'll just have to switch things up as we go throughout the season. But I hit my mic again. I am sorry. Next up, we have Big Landorus. So Landorus Incarnate, I told you guys I wanted Landorus Therian at the beginning, but you know, I let it go to Kurt. So I was like, yo, I was looking for ground types and whatnot, and you know, a lot of my plans got not sniped because I was kind of like, I needed somebody to get those picks so I could like go in the direction that I wanted to go, and Landorus was the direction I wanted to go, but I just wasn't sure. But because somebody got Skuntank, I was looking at that as my dark type to get like a Dark and Poison. I was like, oh, okay, I'll just take Landorus then. Landorus is great because it's such a versatile mon. I keep saying that, but we do have some versatile mons. It can be physical or special. You got Calm Mind, you got Swords Dance, you got Rock Polish, you got Rocks, you have Defog, you have U-turn, you have Knockoff. It just gets so many good moves. It's gonna be hard to deal with, especially because, I mean, we don't have Sand Force. I mean, we don't have Sand, so Sand Force kind of is, it would make it way better. And I was thinking about drafting Hippopotas as our last pick, but I was like, why would I want to get Hippopotas and try to bring it just for Landorus to be good? I think Landorus can be perfectly fine without it. Of course, the boosts would help its rock and ground type moves, but I think it's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be a cool mon. I'm excited to use it. It gives us also another mon that's over the 100. It's 101, which is really weird speed tier, but at least we outspeed the 100, so that's kind of nice. We have 101, 110, and 108, so that's pretty solid. And then we have web, so it kind of makes up for the fact that our speed isn't too high, but I think we'll be fine. And then last but not least, we got the twins. We got male and female Meowstic because we were able to use both. Both forms do different things. The female one is more of the attacking one because it gets competitive and whatnot. And then what's your name? The male Meowstic gets like Prankster and stuff. So it has different mons we can use, and like depending on the matchup, one might be better than the other. So that's pretty cool. And Prankster is always it's always good. It's always the GOAT. It's dope to use, and it boosts our speed tier a little bit at 105. So we have 105, 101, 108, and 110. So that's pretty solid. We made up for everything below 110. Of course, we don't have anything that's above 110, which is a little, but as I said before, webs and barring levitators will be fine. We also have access to Prankster T-Wave. We also have access to Galvantula T-Wave. So nothing too scary. The only thing that I would complain about my team is really the Vullaby is being our dark type. I would have liked to have gotten a better dark type, but I think our team will be just fine. You know, it'd be what it, because like Shadow Ball is spammable, but because Kommo has 3 great abilities in Overcoat, Soundproof, and Bulletproof. So we don't have to worry about getting hit with Shadow Balls at all, because Kommo basically can just be fine, and we can set up in front of that ghost type and just go boom, 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 and you know, so from there. Our week 1 opponent is going to be Vepsis, and as you guys know, in last season of NCP, we did get kind of clapped by Vepsis, so hopefully we can repay him the favor and go ahead and supply him with a beating of our own. But without further ado, I am your boy Jay. Make sure to let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of the team. It is a new season, so I'm excited to see what we can do with the new squad, new mons. But without further ado, I am your boy Jay. I'm gonna get up my chair, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.